What up, y'all? So, back at it again. This is part 2 of the Legend run. So, did part 1 with Imbue Druid. Had some fun, but didn't do quite as well as I thought it would. So, I'm going to change it up to the other deck that I definitely want to get some games in before it gets nerfed, and that's Arena Warrior. Really love this deck. My only change from the standard versions is the Warrior Quest, because I think that just gives you an alternate win condition should, for whatever reason, they have an answer to the things that you do with Gladiatorial Combat, Ysondre, Dracorex, or Tortolla. So pretty straightforward, pretty standard deck list outside of the quest. So let's just get some games in and see how I can do. I left off at Silver 2, it looks like. Here we go. So we got a Priest first. I've been surprised at how much Priest I see on the ladder. I don't exactly know how this matchup is for Arena Warrior, but I am fairly confident. They don't have a ton of minions I care about. I'm tempted to keep Succumb to Madness just so that I can start recurring minions as soon as I get them, but I'm not sure if that's the right call. I don't know, my gut is telling me to throw this back. I probably just want a bunch of draw spells to get to... Yeah, I probably just want to get to Gladiatorial Combat as fast as possible. Have you seen the balance patch coming tomorrow? Yes. Moon Jockey, it hurts my heart. I actually just put a video on YouTube talking about all the balance changes and like kind of what I think is going to happen. And my biggest concern is actually Gladiatorial Combat, because I love the card and this deck is amazing. So I'm hoping, worst case scenario, they just go 6 mana instead of 5 mana. That would be very reasonable and just slow this deck down a little bit, but it's hard to say what they're going to do. So I think they're more focused on Imbue Druid right now. It seems like right now Imbue Druid is just like out there doing serious numbers, whereas I think Arena Warrior is like the new kid on the block, so they're not as familiar with it. I think we're gonna be good just chilling here a little bit. Just gotta kind of set up a little bit, get to the right cards. I think I want to say that Heal Priest needs a little bit more setup time than we do, but we'll see. Gladiatorial Combat is changing to summon a 5/5 with Taunt instead of Stealth. That would be incredible. Is that on good authority, Moonjockey? Because I haven't seen anything as far as like credible sources, you know, for some of this stuff. Oh, no. Okay. All right, that makes me very happy then. Because so far, I've only seen speculation, so it'd be dope to make sure that... Because the thing is with Gladiatorial Combat, if you play it and you've got Dracorex, it's like it doesn't even really matter that they get the 5/5. That's my favorite part of it. Is like, here's your value, goodbye. I could go Erupting Volcano here. Yeah, I think we'll just chill on it. Like I said, I think they need a lot more setup time, so if we can get a couple locations out there... Oh, okay, so this is not stereotypical Heal Priest. This is more of an Imbue Priest if they're playing Flutterwing. That is fascinating. We could Searing Fissure. This would deal a decent amount of damage to their face. Because we go 1 to all minions, attack this for 3. This will deal the last damage and take 5 to their face. I don't hate it. Oh, all the changes are available for preview now. That's good. Okay, I definitely got to check those out then. I'm very curious to see how many of the changes are actually in line with what I was speculating at first. Let's see, Eternal Toil might also be the way to go. Yeah, I think we go like this. It's not amazing. They have the ability to heal fairly decently so far, but I think getting a head start on that, and having double for glory means we've got quite a few cards we can draw, but we'll see. It depends also on their board, obviously, so... I usually only play for glory if it's like 3 mana or less, ideally 2. Okay, that's helpful. Not bad at all. I'm tempted to coin and for glory again, but... yeah, the tough part about this deck is when it warrants playing the coin, because you play, there's essentially 3 big minions that you want to get to as fast as possible, so if your coin gets you there sooner, then that's obviously better than just drawing cards or doing something else. So I'm of the opinion that for glory is probably fine here, but I am questioning it. Yeah, we're gonna run it and see. Card advantage is generally a big factor in matchups like this, so we'll see if this is the right call. Well, between Axe and Searing Fissure, I can do a decent amount of damage to the face. I feel like that's probably the way to go, considering I haven't seen much in terms of combo pieces. And that also gives me this as an option. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. So let's do this. Let's throw this out here. Yeah, I think we'll just go like this. I cry when I draw Tortolla before Gladiatorial. Same, man, same. It's, yeah, it's a bummer, but it's the way it goes. Alright, so making decent progress on their life total so far. Because they play Flutterwing Guardian, I'm a little hesitant to think that they have the same healing power that a normal Heal Priest deck does. But... oh, wow. They took Ysondre. Okay. That's just rude. That's unnecessary. But we got combat. On the same turn, we can also play Clutch, which I actually kind of like. I think this is reasonable. Dracorex would be great, but Ysondre's not bad. Okay. And Ysondre is, for each time Ysondre has died this game, so for theirs dying and mine dying, they help each other. So thankfully, I have the ability to copy mine. So this will just benefit us since they played their own. And we'll see how this goes here. Yeah, some of the best turns are where you just go Gladiatorial Combat into Tortolla on like turn 4 with the coin or turn 5. Especially when you're going against like a face hunter deck and they're just like, well, what do I do now? Like, it's the best feeling ever. Or like against Imbue Druid where you just get Dracorex on turn 5 and you're like, okay, sweep your board, play more guys, sweep your board. It's the greatest. I love this deck so much. Whew, okay, Cease to Exist is definitely a card. That's fair. My god. Alrighty then.
Elune, bring guidance.
Well, they haven't really healed themselves much at all so far. I mean, to be fair, they've not really played many cards at all, whereas I've played about half of my deck so far. So... do we go for the combat again? We get the Dracorex, we clear their board. I don't hate it. Kaboom. I could actually, so if I'm willing to take 8 to the face, I can just smack this here, and then, yeah, I think that's the way to go here. 8 is a lot to take to the face, however, yeah, this makes sure that, yeah, we get rid of all of their guys, which is great. So let's do this. And then we're going to smack him in the face with this. Because that also means we can hit for 6 with the Volcano. Ooh, boy. This with lifesteal is not bad, but I am a little concerned about their minion abilities. Yeah, we're going to take it just in case, but I think this is fine. And we're 2 turns away from Tortolla, so not in a bad spot at all. This was kind of just like extra insurance because of the lifesteal. Fair enough. Yeah, if you play Devouring Plague, I'm honestly not that impressed. Playing, God, I keep forgetting the name of it, but the guy that makes your healing spells give 2 more health, that plus Devouring Plague is so impressive, I don't even care about the normal card anymore. It's it's kind of crazy. Okay. Yeah, Devouring Plague after... God, it's going to bug me what that card is, but that card is so good. I think... I'm tempted to keep this for the other Volcano just in case. Yeah, we're going to chill here for a minute. Yeah, some of the hardest parts with this deck are where you just got to kind of hang out and wait, because there's so much power, there's so much explosive potential. That's what it is, Cleansing Cleric. So Cleansing Cleric plus Devouring Plague, insane together. Because since it does the damage 1 at a time, each 1 damage gives you 3 life, so the 4 becomes 12. It's insane. Wow. Okay, they seem genuinely concerned if they're killing their own minions. Wow. Very surprising. But I am 1 turn away from the quest. And this is why I play the quest, because sometimes there are matchups like this where you're like, I just need that little extra something something. I think we just Tortolla and pass here, honestly, because... Until we can start recurring the Dracorex or the Ysondre, I think we just got to kind of chill here, work the quest rewards a little bit. I could gain 8 life with this. If I play this, it'll attack this twice. That'll put me back above 30 health. Yeah, we're gonna run that. And there is also so much card draw in this deck that's another reason I really like having the quest, because it shuffles some cards into your deck after you've already drawn so many cards that sometimes in these control matchups you just need a little bit more gas and a few more turns to kind of finish things off. Yo, I have not seen that guy in forever. What up, homie? Cobalt Scalebane used to be a problem. Very good card back in the day. Love that guy. Every now and then I want to build dragons in WoW, just because there's so many old dragons I played over the years that seem so much fun. Latorvius it is. Kind of hard not to just go straight here. Reduce the cost of minions in your deck to 0, but I think we do this first and then we do this. Because then it makes all the raptors cost 0 and you can just cycle through your deck as fast as you want, pretty much. So we do this, and we're chilling. Oh yeah, I always forget he has Rush. Yes, please. Ooh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, that is kind of the 1-2 punch of Priest right now, is being able to play some of this stuff for 0. Sheesh. And they got some decent ones. I mean, getting Tyrion and Asphyxiodon? Yeah, I'm not super concerned though, because we can do this. And then we're going to draw some cards here. How do we get out of this here? I'm not super worried, but this is kind of difficult. I think we run this, and we can poke it and execute it. They get the weapon, but perfect. Another Ysondre is incredible. We're going to execute that. And now we've got Ysondre, which summons another 2/2/1, so I think that's okay. It would have been amazing had this all happened and they had the weapon that goes along with this, Atish, however you say that card. That would have been amazing, because then this would have just replaced it, but... Ay-ya, okay. Pretty good. Alright, so they're doing a pretty good job of putting pressure on me here, but still not super worried, because... Yeah, there we go. We can still do quite a few things here. Yeah, I can do this probably a bunch of times and then just Tortolla. And there's Time Warp. Very nice. So this is where it gets interesting, because I can play Clutch and Ysondre, make multiple copies of this. They have 17, what is this, 22 attack on board. So they are presenting lethal. I think this is probably the way to go just to be safe. But I really want to try and just get multiple copies of Ysondre out there. Sure. Ooh, that's brutal. Alright, yeah, they earned this victory. Very well done. Very, very well done. Yeah, I was wondering if Cease to Exist was worth playing around, and I was like, nah, Tortolla is just so fantastic. I think that's worth it, considering I have the 2 other guys. But you know what, that's fine. They earned this victory. That was very well played. Yeah, I was thinking potentially Ysondre plus make a copy, plus Siphoning Growth, one of the eggs to get an additional copy. That would have given me 3 taunt minions, which I guess they still could have gotten rid of, but each of those taunt minions could have, in turn, summoned another minion. So there was probably more options that direction, but I felt like Tortolla was the safe play. Alright, Mr. Rogue. Let's see what we got here.
Now you're sailing on my seas.
Not sure that I can justify Shadowflame Suffusion. Reasonable card, but... I'm trying to think of what the worst case scenario is that I would need to justify Shadowflame. I guess if they flashback, there's a couple aggressive minions they can play in the early turns. I guess to be safe, I can justify keeping this, but I don't like it. I think I'd rather throw it away. It just feels like the safe play. Okay. Yeah, having Torch also feels pretty good there then.
Your world belongs to my brood. There's no time.
This could be a very back and forth matchup. It's a little tough to tell, but for the most part, I think, yes, Moonjockey Dracorex is in this deck. That definitely helps this matchup, for sure. But, oh, alright, they're just doing absolutely nothing. Fair enough. I go back and forth on whether or not you should show them the location early on, because I feel like if you do this, you give them so much information. It tells them very early on how to play against you, which I don't like. So I think I'm just going to armor pass. Because even if I draw Gladiatorial Combat, I can't play that till turn 5 anyway, so might as well wait until turn 4 to clutch if I've got combat.
I will transcend this world.
Good old maniacal follower.
There's no time.
Okay, this is one of those players that just literally waits until the end of the rope to end their turn. Sure. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, not a lot to think about here, to be perfectly honest. I think we're mostly chilling. So I've played a couple different versions of this deck. The version I like the best actually includes Slam. This version does not, I think. I figured I would try this version because it's the one that I have the best win rate with. But as far as like playstyle goes, I like having Slam a lot better because it gives you a little bit more draw power. And I think the more aggressive your draw power is in this deck, the more chances you have to really have that like explosive type of potential. Okay, we're playing against the slowest player in existence, apparently. But hey, who am I to argue? Bro. This is insane. How long are we going to think about an attack here? This is insane. Yeah, everybody's got a different playstyle in Hearthstone, but there are some that are just legitimately the worst. Like this. Alright. Our turn. Yeah, not drawing super great either, but do I want them to Herald Sinestra? I'm honestly not super concerned. It's been 84 years, says Moonjockey. Yes. This is the longest game. This is like the age of Adeline in Hearthstone years. This is insane. I think just in case I draw Gladiatorial Combat, I throw this out here, but yeah. At the pace we're going here, it's going to be another 67 years until we can actually do anything reasonably.
I remember this place well.
Yeah, like, I'm all for people thinking over their turns very carefully. But I always find it interesting when people take the literal maximum amount of time for their turn, even if they've already done all their movements. It's like, what are you still thinking about? I feel like we should incentivize using your time quicker, like how they have chess clocks, something like that. Because otherwise you have people that just sit there and do nothing, like this. Watch, how long are we going to wait now?
There's no time.
Yeah, they're just going to sit here. This is insane. Alright. Anyways, enough complaining. Annoying people are annoying, and that's the way the world works sometimes. So, for my turn, I'm hoping I draw combat this turn, but that's just me being optimistic. Ah, fine. Alright. Dracorex is fine, but we still got a couple turns. I could throw a Shadowflame over here, but not sure that's really the best play.
What now?
Heralding Sinestra is only going to give them some value.
What now?
To be fair, though, I'm taking 9 next turn as opposed to... Yeah, I think for the sake of life total, we're just going to do this. It also gives me the option to potentially play a decent minion here. Like a Ysondre, that's not bad. I could also Dark Rider, get 2 different... Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Let's do this first, and then we're going to select our dragons. Sure, and one more. Come on, come on. God, why does gameplay animation take so long? What does it give us? Okay, a 5-mana 5/5 with charge. That's fine, I guess. Sure.
I will transcend this world.
Yeah, it's my biggest gripe with Hearthstone is just that gameplay animation gets in the way of gameplay. Because there are times where you're like, dude, I have 3 seconds. Why are you taking 4 seconds for a game animation? But, sure. Alright, not bad. That's a pretty good terror run. So, just gotta make it to Dracorex at this point. Yeah, you don't encounter this player very often where they literally just sit there, but they are one of the worst. I think they are like a legitimate cartoon version of a Hearthstone player. I think we're gonna start with this. Oh my god, so much game animation. Ooh, so they got a shatter card. That's actually not good. Another Dracorex could be great, especially considering we get another 2/2 of him. Let's do this. I'm starting to think this might not have been the best Arena Warrior list to work with. Yeah, I went with what the data said was best as opposed to what my play style is more aligned with, and that might have been a mistake, but we'll see what we can pull out here. We still got, we still got another 2 turns till we get to Dracorex, which will be huge, but we've got to survive that long. Also playing against the slowest player in all of existence, but
There's no time.
so if you haven't figured it out, don't be like this guy. Don't sit there and use up all the time because you can. It just makes you a D-bag. Siphoning Breath, okay. Or Siphoning Growth, not bad, but... So this will make a copy of this, which should have charge. I'm just not sure if it actually copies it word for word with specific abilities, or it just gives you a copy of that card. I think it's the best option we have here to test this out, though, because if it doesn't, or if it does work, then we definitely have a much better shot. Come on, show me charge. Yeah, so it doesn't give you specific keywords that are add-on bonuses, which is unfortunate, but it at least gives us some armor. And we get rid of one Wind Fury guy, but I think we're still screwed here. 8, 9, plus 6 is 15, 16. I'm at 22. I get, no, plus the location, we're just done. All right, and I'm going to save the time because this guy's going to sit here and wait the entire time to just do the obvious play. So 0-2 to start out with, pretty unfortunate. I am actually going to switch over to the version of this deck with Slam and some other elements. So let's get that going first. All right, so this is the version of the deck that I'm going to be running. This is what my gut was telling me to play, but I decided to go more with the data. But in this case, I think that Slam is a really powerful tool in this deck. And I'm still a big fan of the quest. Moon Jockey, yeah, I know a lot of people don't run the quest. I've had games where the quest actually made the difference between winning and losing. Like, legitimately, that was the only thing. Because there are some decks, I think more Priest decks are starting to run Cease to Exist. There's a lot of Shaman decks that are starting to run Hex. So there are a lot of things that can get around these type of minions. Tortolla being a tough one, but still, it pretty much just gives you a little bit of armor. And there have been times even where I was playing Imbue Druid, and I got through stuff like Tortolla and just smashed faced. Got through, like with Egg Warlock, got through the 2020 and smashed face for the win in the same turn. So I think there are some pretty powerful decks out there, and I think having just an alternate win condition just in case is not bad. It's one card that I think sometimes it affects the mulligans, that is fair, but I don't think it's that much of a sacrifice in comparison to some of the games that I've lost where I'm just like, well, I could have had him if I just had one more thing. So but this is the list I'm going to run. It's very close, but just a couple of quick changes. So let's see how we can do with this. All right, we got another warrior.
No mercy. Now you're sailing on my seas.
Very interesting hand here. I don't think I can keep double Succumb to Madness. As dope as that would be if I drew a Gladiatorial Combat, but Axe is not bad. So if this is Dragon Warrior, which is probably the most likely outcome, that would be annoying but reasonable. Okay, so yeah, this is a hand. Dracorex is a little rough. Yeah, I think the balance of the metagame is shifting a little bit where combo control or just control decks are starting to see a little bit more play or gain some popularity. Like Priest and Warrior are gaining so much popularity that it seems reasonable to be playing things like the Quest as an alternative win condition. Because some of these games go really long. And you're just sitting there doing a lot of nothing because both players are playing stuff like Shield Block and Slam. You know, like just playing these things that are trying to filter through their deck and just buy some time. And so if you can benefit from each player buying time, then I feel like that's in your best interest. Ooh, okay. Yeah, Egg is not the biggest concern because I do play Execute. Believe it or not, I'm going to slam that because it gets me one card deeper into my deck, which gets me an Execute, which is perfect. So now I've got one answer to the 2020, and got to be conscious of Umbra as well, because they play Unbringer Umbra, get another 2020 and a couple more eggs. Hopefully we can... Ooh, alright, Afflicted Devastator is definitely a card. Hopefully we can get to Ysondre, things like that, sooner than they actually get to the egg, but we'll see here. I could also try and go a little aggressive with stuff like Searing Fissure in the weapon. Yeah, this is a tough one. Because this guy's definitely annoying, and it will put some pressure on my face here. So it's probably worth dealing with. As much as I want to hold this Execute for the egg, we've definitely got time and plenty of draw power to get to other things. Wow. Just raw for glory. 5 mana draw 2. That's rough. Ooh, look at that. Very nice. Alright, so we got Gladiatorial Combat next turn. Hopefully we draw Clutch as well. Yeah, I do like some Egg Warrior. It's a really fun deck to play. Very powerful. Yeah, Torch and Depths, Eternal Toil, yeah, Axe. There's a lot of tools to be able to get through that egg very quickly. Torch, I assume, here? Yeah. And then they can go poke with the location, Torch again on their next turn, obviously, but it just gets through real fast. So this will get either Tortolla or Ysondre. Either way, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, good to see you, Moon Jockey. Thanks for stepping in. Alright, Ysondre not bad here. It definitely gives me some pressure. Yeah, I think we're chilling otherwise. And to be fair, I am kind of breaking my normal tradition of starting with aggressive decks. So generally at this point of the ladder, I like to play something more aggressive. Imbue Druid didn't feel exactly like the right call. Very strong deck, but something about it, playing it for long stretches just doesn't seem to align with a lot of my, with me personally, which is fair. But other than that, it's like I don't know that like Unholy Death Knight is the right call, because that deck has, I mean, it's got decent win rates, but there are some very big flaws, and sometimes you just hit those matchups where you're like, literally nothing you can do. Alright, 2020 is in play. Show me execute. Torch is not bad, actually. I don't think I can deal enough damage for this to really matter. But I guess we can certainly try. We can also put things in the way.
Armament upgrade complete.
That would be 8, putting it to 7. Yeah, I think we're going to do this, and we're going to hope for the best here. If they've got Umbra, then it is what it is, but this gives us a decent chance to be able to get rid of this guy. Just no Umbra, please. No Umbra. I don't believe they played Nightmare Lord. Nightmare Lord would be the easiest way for them to get to Umbra. That is fair. Okay. Man, they got a ton of armor over there. 36 armor is crazy. Alright, let's see here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I can't justify an attack at all, but I guess we just Dracorex it. Not ideal, but you know what? It does the job. And Succumb to Madness will bring him back. But more than likely, we want something like Ysondre to recur, or even, I mean, you can't Succumb to Madness Tortolla because it's not a dragon, but is what it is. Alright, so now I think we need to be more aggressive, but also we've got rewards coming soon. So, how do we set up the best for the next couple of turns so that we can take advantage of that? I think we're just going to throw some of this stuff out here, get a little bit of some forward momentum. Ooh, getting another Tortolla is great. 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to go like this. Because the thing is, too, with stuff like Searing Fissure, we don't want to help them. If they play Endbringer Umbra, then they're going to have more eggs, and we don't want to crack more eggs if we can help it. Let's do this. And it seems like they're just waiting for their Endbringer Umbra. Assuming they have it, I mean, I feel like they have to have it. If they don't have it, then that's just really unfortunate for them. Shadowflame, great draw. But I think Tortolla's great here because it'll corrupt Shadowflame. This will take care of their little guy. And let's do this. Oh, and it's got charge. That's right. Sure. One whole damage. Look at us go. Very surprised no Endbringer Umbra yet. And the other Tortolla, very nice. Yeah, I think we're going to do this because it gives us a faster clock. Wow, these are actually the same ones we got last time, which is fine by me. Alright, so we got a bunch more guys in our deck. This puts 20 raptors. We're going to make those raptors cost 0 among all the other minions in our deck. There's the Umbra. Another 20/20, sure. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. Because that means one less egg trigger. So this one makes another 20/20. Then we've got 2 and 4 breaks. So not the worst. This is reasonable. Okay, a little less reasonable. Jeez. So this is going to shuffle a minion into someone's deck. 5 damage to all enemies. 2 minions, and I think he gives something +5/+5 and immune this turn. So I can shuffle one of these in their deck, but they only have 7 cards, so I don't think that's really very helpful.
What now?
Playing the other Tortolla could buy me some time. I think that might be the way to go. Because I can do this, I can take out 16 plus 4 there is 20. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, not ideal, but I think a little bit of time should help us out here. Yeah, and sadly, there's no space in a deck like this for something like Royal Librarian, and there's no good silence or like hex style options to be able to deal with stuff like eggs. I did really like playing Egg Warrior, but I did find that, oh wow, well there's more armor for us. I did find that playing Egg Warrior, it's really susceptible to just like the random hex, the random Royal Librarian, stuff like that. So when I play Egg Warrior, I always play that with the quest as well. It just gives you that alternate win condition. But yeah, honestly, it's a very weird metagame right now. I think it's figuring itself out, and after the nerfs, it's going to have to figure itself out again. So we will see how this changes up over the coming weeks. Yeesh. Alright, they're not making this easy on us. And only 5 cards left in the deck, so shuffling away one of the 2020s is not going to make that much of a difference, sadly. And this is also 3 breaks away, so who knows? I could just be delaying the inevitable here, but I think we got to do what we got to do. So this just keeps us alive a little longer. Yeah, I can't imagine.
What now?
Yeah, most of what I'm imagining for this game is just things that are going to give me more time, but still end up in the same spot. Like, Amara could put me at 40 life again, but I mean, how many win conditions are really going to matter here? How many 2020s can I legitimately fight through? And still have enough resources left over to win the game, so this is a real tough situation here. And yeah, this turn is probably going to be make or break here. Okay, I think we have to start with this. I don't want to break that egg, but it is what it is. Just need literally 1 more damage so that the torch can take this out. And then that at least gives us some time until we can deal with this egg. Oh boy. Alright, we're not looking good here. I think that's the only option there is. Siphoning Growth does give us a little bit of time, that's helpful. And then we're gonna torch this and just see where we can go from here. Alright, so I have 22 life. Oh no, never mind. With this, they've got the win. That's unfortunate. So close. They quite literally have exact damage.
Not a mistake.
Oh my god, that... They actually just had lethal and didn't take it. I'm okay with that. Okay, I already wrote down I lost. I'm gonna erase that. Okay, we have a little more time. This is crazy. Yeah, I would love to get this guy out there, but I feel like I... Is that really the best call? I know I have another execute in here, but it's so many cards deep. Yeah, I think I gotta do this, because then that means any other little raptors I draw are gonna cost 0, which... Ooh, that's helpful. Thank you. Alright, let's see if we can get some more raptors to draw some more cards. That was very lucky. Yeah. Okay. We are alive still. About as much as health as they do. They have, what, 55? We've got 50. Sure, Shelnado's fine. Alright, so they've got another 2020, and this is thankfully the last of the 2020s. So it is very possible to fight through this. They've already played their Umbra. If we can fight through the last 2 2020s, then we could take this down. I mean, to be fair, they are handing us an opportunity with that misplay of attacking our minion. Had they just attacked my face, they could have been done already, but gotta take advantage of every opportunity you're given. Alright, let's see what we can do. Succumb to madness, okay. Let's see what that can get us. I don't mind Dracorex, but I think the safe play is Ysondre, especially considering we already have Clutch.
What now?
What separates dream from madness?
Let's do this, see what else we can draw. Okay, gotta be conscious of space for the egg. We've got 5, this will be 6. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay. So, let's do that. I think we gotta get some armor, and might as well give this guy a little bit more attack so that it just gives us a little bit more damage to throw at these 2020s, so if we can get through them, we are in great shape. I don't think they really have any win conditions after these last two 2020s, outside of obviously like Weapon and maybe Erupting Volcano or something random like that. That's good. Ooh! Please give me a Taunt Dragon. Ah! Alright. That is the way it goes. Okay, so going 0-3 here is definitely not a good sign. I think going back to my original strategy of maintaining an aggressive strategy here is probably best. So Arena Warrior, probably not best at this stage. I would imagine that's probably better at another stage of the ladder, closer to Platinum Diamond, something like that. So the question is, where do we go from here? I'm a big fan of Eggomancer Warlock, where you're playing Possessed Animancer and Egg of Kalos, but not sure that's the right call here. Herald Shaman, definitely good, but I could just go straight back to Imbue Druid, to be perfectly honest. Unholy Aggro could steal some games as well. My gut is telling me one of these two decks is the way to go. And forgive me, YouTube, I try not to bore you guys with the hemming and hawing about like deck choices and card selections within decks, but sometimes in the moment, it is warranted to really stop and reflect on exactly what your strategies do and kind of readjust. You know, we're going to try the Unholy Aggro deck. So if you've never played this before, it is definitely strong, but it does have its weaknesses. So there are some matchups where you just have to say, it's fine, you got me. However, you steal some wins quite a bit. So let's give it a try. I think it's very in line with just the very aggressive strategy that normally works out well for me in the beginning stages of a Legend run. So let's see how we do here.
The Lich King versus Alexstrasza.
Okay, we got a Druid, which I can only assume is Imbue Druid.
Serve me.
All good cards in our hand, but not cards we want to have in our opening hand, so I don't think we really keep any of these. Grave Strength can be a keep sometimes, but not having any other aggressive elements, I think it's a risk, so we're going to throw everything back and see what we can do here. We want 1-drops, 2-drops, just anything to get the game started aggressively, like this. Yeah, Chow Down is a phenomenal card. I'm not super stoked about playing an 8-drop in a really aggressive deck. However, when you play it, I mean, it's 8 mana for 25 attack. It's just bonkers. So depending on what we draw here, I might go double 1-drop on turn 1. I'm sorry, what? They're playing Ysera and Hamul. Very interesting. Not sure I've seen that one yet. Okay, so I think Monstrous Mosquito might have to make an appearance here. What do we get off of this? Into a Petal Peddler, wow. So sequencing is going to be key here, so I think Coin Mermy is decent. I think I want a Peddler next turn. Yeah, I don't think I can justify the Mosquito just yet, because the thing about Mosquito is it usually has a target on its back immediately, because it's obviously a powerful card that can make a board that is very wide become much more powerful quickly. So probably best to wait until I've got 3 or more minions to really get max value out of Mosquito. But I think Peddler is a great follow-up to this, since that'll pump the Carrier Whelp. Yeah, and hopefully they're just playing some spells and kind of getting started. Yeah, perfect. This is exactly what we want to see. Ooh. Okay. So they discovered either a mage or a druid spell there, so this could be Wildwood Circle or it could be Arcane Flow, the mage shatter spell. So no way to tell until they actually start playing stuff, but we'll see. Yeah, I think kind of hard not to play Peddler here. Yeah, next turn Ancient Raptor into Monstrous Mosquito could be pretty good. Only thing I want to see here is, I mean, honestly, I kind of want some minions to die, because Grave Strength is really only amazing. It is Wildwood Circle. Grave Strength is only amazing if you have the 5 corpses to be able to take advantage of the extra bump. So, not the worst if your minions die. Let's see here. Yeah, I think... Okay, timeout. 1... As far as Remnant of Rage goes, I don't think we're going to be taking out enough minions, because we go 1, 2, 3. So yeah, best case Remnant of Rage is going to cost 4. So let's do this. We almost always do more plants because we want more minions. And we're going to take these guys out just to ensure that we can maintain a solid... maintain tempo and a solid board presence. I mean, it's turn 3, I've got 12 attack on board. That's pretty decent. Yeah, I was so hesitant to play this deck at first, but it might actually be the call for this stage of the ladder. I find the less thinking and the more explosive your deck is in the beginning stages of the ladder, the better you end up doing, honestly. So, yeah, maybe Arena Warrior was just not the right call. Falric is pretty good. I'm thinking it's probably best to keep this tempo going, so I probably trade here and trade the Mermy, throwing 7 at their face. I also get double corpses off of Falric. Hopefully this draws Grave Strength. Cool. Okay, so this is a great position here. So this gives us more minions and more corpses, as well as this. And then we can still keep progression on their face. And we've got enough corpses for Grave Strength, so if they don't clear this board, then they're in big trouble. Yo! Who plays Wild Pyromancer in Imbue Druid? Hold up. Time out. What in the holy hell is going on? That is the worst highway robbery I've seen in a long time. Wow. That actually just happened. Okay. In that case, wow. Yeah, I have literally seen no one play Wild Pyromancer in Imbue Druid, but I mean, in that case, it was phenomenal for them because they were literally about to lose to Grave Strength, so good God. This is why we play stuff like Shadows of Yesterday and Chowdown. I'm really baffled right now. That was the greatest timing they could have possibly had. Yeah, we're just gonna keep attacking their face here. Yeah, Now we get Shadows of Yesterday next turn, and if that sticks, Grave Strength will do it. If not, we wait for Chow Down.
The roots lend their strength.
Interesting. This is a really oddly kind of fine-tuned version of Imbue Druid. It's very interesting. It seems good, but I'm not happy about it. This is a decent version. Yeah, I think we Shadows of Yesterday. I think that gives us the best shot here. Because if I don't Shadows of Yesterday, the only other options would be like Swarm Guard and Hero Power, sending this guy and the 1/1 at the 4/2. This could give us Rush Minions, which I think is ideal here. Yeah, we're going to give that a try. Alright, no Rush Minions, but 3 Divine Shield is actually really interesting.
I have but little time.
I think 3 Divine Shields is worth keeping here, because I don't think we're going to be able to get more than that on the next one, which would be the only really thing that we want, is like Reborn to Divine Shield on a rewind here. Alright. So just gotta stick a couple minions and Chow Down or Grave Strength.
An error, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Bummer. Okay, so we have 7 attack here. This would give us 9 more. That makes 16. Plus this would be 17. Plus 3 is 20. So we can put him at 7 at the best. Not what we want to do, though. So. Chow Down next turn is going to be a huge thing. Remnant of Rage for 0 could help a lot.
Death calls.
I think keeping them from drawing more cards is good also. Maybe, I mean, see, I could probably make a case for throwing all that damage to their face, but I don't know that that's the right call here. So we're just going to do this. We're going to get in. I'm going to do that. Alright, so that maintains a decent board presence so that we can either Chow Down or Grave Strength depending on how they play this next turn. If they got another Wild Pyromancer, that's a whole nother story.
Must have slept in.
0 mana 5/5. Seems good. So again, we've got 8, 9, 10, plus 12 would be 22. We can put them at 5.
My
4, 3,
Eternal.
2, 1. I think we put them at 1 here. Yeah, that's kind of hard not to.
You shall suffer.
And of course it hits the guy that's going to die this turn. Oh well.
My name.
Alright, so put him to 1. Not ideal, but that is the way it goes. And this means they have to have a taunt minion or something like that since I have the weapon. They got to gain some life. They just, you know, they need something. Craziest part is this is just a singleton. There's just one command claw in this deck. The best possible draw. Alright, what do we got, Brosophiles?
Grow big and strong.
Yeah, looks like we got him. This is awesome. Ooh, the Mark of the Wild. But you know what? Still doesn't matter because we got Chow down that's going to have Rush. We're going to take the minions out and smack their face.
You are prepared for wars to come.
I must withdraw.
There you go. Alright, so 1-0 with Unholy Death Knight. What up, Shadow? Welcome to the Twitch chat, bro. Been a long time. Alright, so 1-0 with Unholy Death Knight after going 0-3 with Arena Warrior, but I think this is probably the place to be. So I'm going to chill here for a little bit and see how we can do with these games.
The Lich King versus the Thunder King.
This is not
Alright,
my
Mr. Shaman, let's do this.
All will serve me.
I love both of these cards, but not really what you want early game. Mosquito's fine. There are definitely better 1-drops. It's not always the best thing to have at the beginning of the game, but I think it's okay. Oh, wow. Very interesting starting hand here. And if you need a budget deck, this is actually one of the most budget-friendly decks that has a very solid win rate. I don't remember exactly, but I think the win rate is somewhere around 56% or something, which is really good for a standard deck. I think it tops out at like 58, 59, something like that. Like high 58 is usually really phenomenal. I'm thinking I get rid of the Twilight Egg here. I don't like the investment this is into their future later, so I think I go like this. This gives this guy the attack to be able to take out the 2/2, and it is a trade, but I think that's fair. Couple ways I can play this turn. So I could go like Monstrous Mosquito, attack, pumps the Mosquito, and then use this to take this minion out, and then I'm sitting here with a 3/2 that isn't going to pump anything else, but I have board presence and some tempo. They do have those little elemental rush minions that could just take that out, though, is the problem. So I'm thinking maybe Brightwing or Ancient Raptor, but
I have but little time.
we're actually going to do this. I don't usually like having Mosquito out by itself. However, if this can stick, then that means that next turn I can drop some minions and start assembling a pretty solid board. And if it eats up removal, it eats up removal. I mean, I guess that's okay. Because either way, I'm going to start assembling the board next turn. It just gives me a little bit of a head start, I think, in terms of the power level. Oh no, what are we doing? Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, this is great. That's even better. So we can go like this and get an additional minion to pump. And I think we're just going Ancient Raptor. Hard to argue with more minions. So yeah, that worked out pretty much exactly as planned. That's kind of nice. Oh wow, Divine Shield, Wind Fury, Skywall Sentinel. That's... I'm sorry, what? Oh, plus Ritual of Power. I was like, there's no way it has that and the double Battle Cry. But that's Ritual of Power. That is fair. Alright, I think we're going to start here.
We are friends now. Hello, friend.
I don't think that's going to matter, but it's fine. And then we can do this. Start taking this guy out. And believe it or not, I think we take these minions out. Now, normally I'm not too concerned about smashing face. You obviously want to make some progress on their face, but I'm not too concerned until the point that you're ready to kind of Grave Strength. Getting a little bit of damage in there is good so that the Grave Strength doesn't have to do all the work. Ooh, Reanimated Pterodax is pretty good here. Alright, let's see what we get off of this first. Yeah, 1 Rush Minion's actually great. And 3 Divine Shield is fantastic, so we're going to keep that. Let's do this. And... yeah, we're going to go here and here. And this is going to take that guy out. Yeah, that's great tempo. And we're 1 corpse away from Grave Strength next turn, so we can always just throw the 1/1 out there, assuming they don't give us the corpse on their own.
Lightning.
I think they had a misclick there. I think they meant to take out both of those Divine Shields, but what are you going to do? Yeah, this is not going to actually trigger to give the 100 stats to minions in my deck, so I don't think I can prioritize that realistically. But they're down to 3 cards, which is actually great for me. So if I can just keep up some aggression here... they do have some really good top-end cards, you know, Deathwing, the Shaman Colossal minion, stuff like that, but I think for the most part this is a good position. Yeah, Lisa's a decent card, but this isn't the blowout it used to be. She's not going to save the day like the previous standard format. So we've got 6 here, plus 12 is 18. Yeah, plus the hero power, we just got him.
Conquer in my name.
And there we go, 2-0. Yeah, way more on track now, this is great. Alright, up to gold 8. Let's see how much more damage we can do.
The Lich King versus Malfurion.
Feel the power.
Alright, another druid, which I assume is imbue.
All will serve me.
And yeah, I think this video is actually a great example that the deck that you want to play is not always the deck that's right for the metagame you're playing. So I wanted Arena Warrior to be good. I like that deck better, but this is the right call for this stage of the ladder and where the metagame is currently at. So maybe Arena Warrior gets better later. We'll see. Alright, not an ideal hand here because we don't exactly have a good 1-drop. We don't want to just drop Mosquito for the sake of dropping a 1-drop. Yeah, this is a little unfortunate. I don't think it is the best thing to just pass on turn 1 with an aggressive deck like this. However, I think in this case it is the smartest move. I could go like coin and hero power to try and smack this guy, but it's just going to get bigger every turn, so it's kind of a futile effort. So if I wanted to go like coin Falric here, that could be a little better, but still not ideal. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. Yeah, I'm going to take some damage off of the Cub, but that's kind of the name of the game when it comes to aggro Druid here. I also find that the versions of Imbue Druid that play Cub, they tend to be a little bit more explosive in the early turns, but not quite as resilient as you keep going into the turns. I think if they don't take you out fairly quickly, then they start to kind of run out of steam, depending on the cards they're playing. There are so many different versions of Imbue Druid, but that's one of the things that I've just noticed in my personal experience. That is fair. All right, good call there. Oh, wow. So if I wanted, I could go Grave Strength and then take both of those minions over there. That is just not the right call, though. I think if I go Falric, that'll give me a lot more corpses, which means that I can Terror Dax that guy at some point soon, but still might not be enough, sadly. Yeah, let's run it. What do we draw? Another Terror Dax is amazing. So let's just throw both of these at stuff. And then that gives me this. What are they up to now? Only 2/2s, so yeah, not concerned really at all yet. Now this is a much better time to play Mosquito. Getting some good value out of it, as well as some protection for the Mosquito, so I like it.
I can see.
Oh, wow. Yo. Alright, that was very unexpected, but I'll take it. Alright, 3-0 with aggro Death Knight. Win streak. And up to gold 4, just like that.
The Lich King versus Lady Vash.
Victory.
Well, it makes a lot of sense to be playing against a lot of Druid and Shaman so far.
Serve me in death.
I like Pterodax, but I'm not sure it's the... Is it a keep here? I don't think it is. I'm also not sure Mosquito is a keep here. Yeah, this seems pretty good. Okay. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Had I had the Maze Guide in my opening hand, I probably would have kept the Mosquito, because that obviously adds a little bit more power to the Mosquito's output. I think we just Maze Guide pass here. I could like attack and then attack with this, giving the Reborn copy +2/+0, but then I've got a 3/1 that just easily dies to a variety of different things. Is that really what I want?
The exit is this way.
Ooh, that's not bad. Yesterlock is a nice little surprise every once in a while. Flight of the High Firehawk, very good card. Fair trade. Yeah, totally fine with that interaction. Yeah, we're gonna carry her well too.
Nightmares are never forgotten.
Yeah, I'm very surprised at how good this deck is in this format. Yeah, Death Knight doesn't really get much credit for anything in this format right now. This deck is pretty much the only exception.
You shall suffer.
Sniveling maggot.
Alright, this should set up our Grave Strength turn much better now. A lot easier to beat them when they're at 20 than 30. Sounds like an obvious statement, but yeah, much bigger difference. Like, Grave Strength only has so much reach. Okay. That's pretty good. Last Stand is a good card. Not sure it's the right call here, though. One, two, three, four,
My
five,
rule is eternal.
I could take out this guy. I'll be able to play Remnant of Rage for 4. I guess follow up with a Mermaid. That doesn't seem very good, though. But that guy with Wind Fury is a problem. That's the main point, is he cannot stick around here regardless. So maybe I just last stand and then take him out. I think that gives me the best possibility of following up here, because they're gonna get that hammer into their hand regardless. Oh, we got a rush 2/2. I think that's fine. So now that they've got hammer in hand, I do have to be careful because, you know, like avatar form makes that much more deadly. Static shock is kind of annoying as well. Okay, so I think what I need to do here is trade here, hero power, trade with this guy, and then drop a couple guys and just kind of work my way up to chow down, which I think should even the tempo out a lot more.
You know nothing.
You know what? Maybe Remnant of Rage is a little better. Ooh, into reanimated Pterodax. Very nice. That is helpful. I think we'll do this. Yeah, if only Pterodax was a 5/4 instead of 4/3, but that's okay. That's okay. Alright, so we're 2 mana away from Chowdown. This could be a Grave Strength turn. 9, 10, plus 9... Yeah, plus Hero Power. So if these minions stick, we can Hero Power Grave Strength and that wins. Okay, or not. Sure. Totally okay with them attacking that.
And I listen.
Yeah, that's really nice. That creates even more space between our life totals, which I like. Another Chowdown. Wow, so we could go back-to-back Chowdown here. I'm very tempted to Grave Strength here. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. If I Hero Power and Grave Strength, then I can go smack this, deal, what would this be, 8, 12 to their face, put them at 4. They have 8, 9, 10 on board. They do have the hammer, which I need to be considerate of, which is another 6. So if they have Avatar form also, but that would be 5, 8 mana, which they can do. So I think we're gonna run this. However, I think we've got to just do this trade also. So this makes it so they're a little bit more reachable with life total, and double Chowdown should be very difficult for them to handle, I think. How many corpses do we need? We need 8 corpses to give them rush, so that's unfortunately not going to happen on the first one, but probably pretty likely on the second. Okay, that could mean Deathwing is on the way, so... Unfortunate. That's a big boy right there, okay. Oh, 6-3 taunt? Sure thing. That may actually change things a lot. So I need 8 corpses to give these rush. So if I trade there, trade that, yeah, I think... No, but this costs corpses to do it, so I can't give them rush anyway. Dang. Alright, we came very close, but that's the way it goes. Sometimes this matchup just doesn't work. So we can do this, and this, but they've got plenty to swing back with, so...
You are prepared for the wars. All life must end.
Alright, 3 and 1. Not bad. Let's get one more game in here.
The Lich King.
Alright, Rogue is cool.
None can escape my fury.
I think we've got a decent chance against Rogue.
Serve me in death.
I don't love the Reluctant Wrangler, but it is pretty good in terms of recursion, because it comes back plus the 2/2 with Taunt, but it's not my favorite card in this deck. I think there are possibly better options, but it is very efficient at what it does. Alright, reasonable hand, but we could really use a 1-drop. That's not a 1-drop. Okay. Okay. What are the odds of drawing King Lane that fast? 1 in like 27? It's like 3% about? That's pretty nuts. I swear they better not have Garona on turn 4. That would be just criminal. Tempted to play this guy. Living Paradox is usually great, but when you're setting up for something. So Living Paradox without a Grave Strength in hand is not ideal. Or like a Mosquito or something like that. So I think we do this. A Living Paradox, very good card in this. Okay, Web of Deception it is.
By petal and sword.
Sure thing, buddy. So this is just aggressive Imbue Druid, very surprising. Yeah, if in this position, Swarm Guard is much better than Paradox because this gives us more bodies, but also some protection for the bodies we do have. So I like this.
I will transcend this world.
And if you haven't heard yet, apparently the Hearthstone Discord has all of the changes that are about to happen. So I gotta double check that and find out what they're doing to Maniacal Follower and Gladiatorial Combat and all those other cards. So it's gonna be crazy to see how they change up the metagame. I think we just start smashing some face here. I'm not super worried about what they could do now. So a Grave Strength would be incredible. Mosquito would be great, but obviously that's got its downsides compared to Grave Strength. Shadows of Yesterday might be the play next turn, depending on how many minions they take out right now. Oh, wow. Shadow, the real ones or the April Fool ones? As in, there are April Fool ones that they did to mess with us? Because I have not heard about that. I heard that someone saw what the actual changes were going to be. I did not think they would be messing with us in terms of April Fools. Bruh. Oh my god. Well, we will have to see then, because I haven't seen any of them. I've just heard people talk about them so far. Oh boy. Okay, we got a link in the chat. Definitely got to check that out. Alright, what do we got here? Nothing with Rush, 1 Wind Fury, 3 Divine Shield. This is actually pretty solid. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. Hard not to.
Your soul is mine.
Actually, I think this is the one.
Shoot! Shoot!
There we go. Alright, let's see what we got here. Patch notes. Wow, so okay, yeah, they've got some just April Fool's nonsense going on here. Yeah, this is not what I've seen so far. Yeah, I heard there were actual that's so funny that they would do that on April Fool's. Just it's a bunch of stuff that's just very obviously not real. But I've heard that like they're making Gladiatorial Combat give your opponent a 5/5 with taunt instead of a 5/5 with stealth, stuff like that. But I have not verified this information yet, so I got to go out and find it. Summon another random minion from your hand. This could be bad. This could be bad.
Death calls.
What's it gonna be? Yeah, that's totally fine. Okay. Yeah, and I guess we just smash some face.
Lost to time. Lost to time.
And just to make sure there's no lifesteal going on, we're gonna do that. Oh, no, that... Oh my god, that just cost me the... Okay, I didn't count. Sorry, guys. That was dumb. Always count for lethal. Okay. Should have counted. Had it. Just totally had it. Interesting. So, Maniacal Follower is now a 3/0 minion. What are you talking about? What? Yeah, that sounds very April Foolish, Shadow. That's crazy. Alright, let's see what we can do here. So we've got Chow down. I think maybe Last Stand is the way to go. Which one has lifesteal? So we just got to get rid of the one with taunt and then the one with lifesteal, and then we can take that guy out. So, yeah, I think...
My rule is eternal.
I think we're going to do this. So then we can go to here. We've got the poisonous, so we're gonna go...
Little time.
This is kind of annoying. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this, I think. And we're gonna go lifesteal, poke this guy, and just... Oh, wow, what? Why does everything have taunt now? Oh my god, that was so unlucky. We got the Scaled Lancer off of that. This is just a ridiculous game. This is such a stupid game right now. Scaled Lancer is so annoying. I cannot believe that just changed up that entire turn. Okay. I was like, all right, we fought our way through. Let's just get the lethal in after we already missed it one time. Nope. Good lord.
I'm not afraid of the dark. Quickly.
And there's no way to get rid of this guy, so fair enough. Okay. Well, we've got a Grave Strength. We should be able to do this in theory, just depends on if they actually have something that's going to come off of this.
Rule is eternal. Soul Suture!
Alright, let's find out. Oh, they've got stealth, so I think that means we can get through. Kaboom. Okay, we made it. Alright, 4-1. So total record of 4-4 in total if we're counting the Arena Warrior games, which is what it is. But again, this stands as a great example that like the deck you want to play is not always the right deck for what you're doing, because I wanted to play Arena Warrior. I like the deck. It's a lot of fun. It's very powerful, but just wasn't the right pick here. So, you know, it's very important to not only have good experience with one deck, like I'd say a lot that you got to stick with one deck and really see it through if you're going to get good results from it. But I've played Arena Warrior a lot, and sometimes it is more important to realize when it is okay to take a step back and go, this is not the right thing here. This is just not fitting the strategy or the goal at the moment. So Arena Warrior, after 0-3, had to switch that up, and then went 4-1 with Unholy Death Knight. So I think I'm going to continue with Unholy Death Knight a little bit more here. No more win streak, sadly, but this does get me to Gold 3. So that's pretty decent progress. Normally day one I like to get to at least like Gold 5 or so, just, you know, making some decent progress. And then within a couple of days max, I'm usually at Diamond 5, and that's where the grinding really starts. Once you get to Diamond 5, you've got no win streaks, no nothing on top of what you're doing. So you just have to grind through game by game to get to Legend from there. And normally it's a very back and forth thing, but as long as you have picked the right deck for that stage and you stay consistent with it, you stay on target, then you're going to be just fine. So we'll see how many days it takes me to get there, but I think we're going to make it, guys. So thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the other videos on the channel. So far in the 2 weeks that we've had of the Cataclysm standard metagame, I've played almost every reasonable deck that is worth considering for the standard metagame. Once we get the nerfs tomorrow, it should be interesting to see how that changes things up, but I don't think we're going to see too much of a change in the metagame. If anything, I think it's just going to balance things out so we have a more even and healthy metagame to work with, but we'll see what exactly happens. So appreciate you guys if you are following already. If not, definitely consider it. Drop a comment. I respond to every single comment on here, so if you want to be nice, you want to be mean, have at it, y'all. Appreciate you guys. Peace and love.